Everyone, comment section, who is that dude? Who is that dude?
I just said it was Cactar.
I mean, where's he from? Okay, where's he from? If anyone knows, we'll give you a hint. He was in a
Everyone fucking knows where he's from.
He was in a Disney movie.
Okay, listen, you sexist pig. Of course you buy it when you go to Japan. You buy a male mascot.
Yes, how dare I?
Question mark, is Cactar male?
Did you just assume it's gender? Because I didn't do that. Ralph just totally assumed that wonderful creature's gender. So please, unsubscribe to SkillUp. And what are we talking about, actually? It's funny that we bring that up, because I feel like we want to talk about something very close to that.
While we were away, the whole internet fucking exploded. It just melted down because Battlefield 5, or V, as they like to call it.
Or Battlefield Vagina.
Battlefield Vagina has been now nicknamed. Someone actually in the comment section yesterday said, Battlefield Vagina, what are you, 12? And I'm like, that's generous.
More like 10.
That came out, the trailer came out, and the internet just went absolutely insane over it for a variety of reasons. Now, we obviously were away, we were in Japan last week, so we didn't get to talk about it, but now we're going to give you our hot take on Battlefield V. Okay, so this is a controversial topic.
Yes, it is. We have to be
very controversial topic
because we don't want to explode the internet.
That's true. Well, any potential sponsors are looking at us ready to strike us off. Like, get ready. They said something. Here's the thing, right? That trailer pissed off everybody, and it almost felt like it was sort of trying to piss people off in the way that it was framed and the way that especially DICE responded to that criticism. Because I honestly believe that this is actually just a big fucking misunderstanding at this point, more than anything else.
I think it's a number of things. I think a lot of people were annoyed about different things.
Correct, 100%.
Some people were annoyed that they didn't really see any gameplay. Some people were annoyed that they weren't.
They saw a little bit, but it was like the fakest gameplay ever. You know?
I mean that stuff's always brought out and makes it look like it's like the best stuff ever. Then the game comes out, you're like, what? It doesn't look like this.
Here, feel this. 100% Pashmin. Well, at least that's what the guy in the street told me.
Come on, then. Wow, that is soft. Well, you know, I
think other people would have also been annoyed at there was no real like in-depth understanding of what is in this
that was a big thing.
It's like, what am I actually getting here?
Correct,
you know, and then of course the big one, the big gigantic one was there was some backlash about that whammon.
Yeah. So look, let's break it down. Okay, so first of all, when it comes to the fact that this was just a sizzle reel, everyone thought this looked like Fortnite, the video game, as in Fortnite, the Battlefield, okay, you know? So it was very colourful, it looked ridiculous, it didn't have the same sort of structure or flow or sense of, I don't know, the sense of cohesion that Battlefield games had in the past, that was really thrown out the window. It was a very different, more colourful experience. So immediately everyone was like, oh my god, this is just Fortnite. Like,
it felt like an anime opening.
I honestly, when I watched it, I'm like, this looks like an anime video, you know? It was like top 10 anime betrayals, right? So that was one thing that people were like, this is not my Battlefield for that reason, okay? That's number one. Number two, the whole thing around the game features and what's different in this Battlefield. There's a really famous video now from Jack Frags, who's pretty much the #1 Battlefield YouTuber. He did a video that came out pretty much the same time as the reveal trailer, and it just goes through all of the gameplay improvements that you get in the game, and they're fucking great. Like, I've played Battlefield, 3 and 4, you know, and 1.
I played 1 a lot, but I didn't play anything else.
Yeah, so I played, I'm not a giant Battlefield fan, but I've always loved Battlefield. I think it's a great series. He just goes through all this stuff that's like, yes. Just like a whole list of features that makes this a much, much better Battlefield game. Everyone who watches that video is like, okay, I'm actually looking forward to this Battlefield game. Yeah. Everyone who watched that trailer is like, that looks fucking garbage.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's two different audiences there. You know, I think the hardcore gamer wanted a trailer that really goes into depth and like, what am I getting for my money? What's different from all the other Battlefields now that I've played? And then there's the other type of audience, of course, that wants to see, who's going to be included? Who's going to be included?
No, there is no audience that wants to see that. There is no audience that wants to see who's included.
I think DICE thought, well, let's go down the route of making sure people know that we are making sure that this game is very inclusive. Now, it's a hot topic.
Yeah, they really
it's hard to. see, it's hard to get this point across without people thinking, oh, you guys are sexist or something. But I just really want to say that.
Here we go.
I just really
Sexist Sam.
Here we go. Sexist Sam strikes again. I think some people just want historical accuracy from some games. Now, if we look at Wolfenstein, for instance, I think you can clearly see that that's not really portraying a realistic approach to history, to what happened in World War II with the Nazis, all that kind of stuff. It's a completely different take.
It's alternate history.
But when people are playing Battlefield, they are used to a very realistic style of delivery, of what they are experiencing. It's very authentic, and I think a lot of people want that from Battlefield 5.
But previous Battlefield games have definitely not gone down that road. Bad Company 2, Battlefield 2142, they've definitely gone off the beaten path on that. But certainly in the last numbered series, 3, 4, and 1, they've put a very big premium on realism, and that doesn't exist here in the same way. So you've sort of conditioned an audience over the previous generation, even Hardline actually. You've conditioned an audience to expect realism, and then you go somewhere quite different with that.
Yeah.
But the biggest challenge, though, I think, was that they didn't set that expectation with their audience when they went out, right? They basically just said, here's a most authentic Battlefield experience ever. Yeah. It's our most immersive experience ever. And they made no mention of the fact that it was alternate history. Yeah. And they just said, here it is, Yeah. And then they went out with this trailer that's obviously ridiculous, and it has all this crazy shit going down. And it does have a woman on the front line of the battlefield. Yeah. She's English or Scottish, maybe English, and she's got a prosthetic limb, and she's killing Germans with a cricket bat. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that level of ridiculousness it rises because it's kind of like, okay, that's not real.
Like, if I saw that in Fortnite, I'd be like, oh, cool. But you're conditioned in Fortnite to expect that kind of stuff. Where here it's not, and I think I've seen a few things on Twitter. Anyone that's challenged that, they're just getting shot down by automatically being anti-progressive or anti-women or something. It's okay to sometimes just say, look, I want an authentic, realistic experience, and I think Kingdom Come had a similar situation where they didn't they didn't include enough other ethnicities, and they didn't include other, you know what I mean?
I do.
And that was a big thing. And then the developers, the development house came out and said, we're just showing you roughly what it was like in the times. Like, can't we just give you a game like that?
I mean, that is a whole other kettle of fish as well, because that guy also said some things that really pissed a lot of people off, and made some tweets that were very saucy, and it's like, now you're bringing him into this discussion. It's like, actually, oh shit, that's right.
No, but I think the point still stands, though. Even if he did make some saucy tweets, Pete, he I think the vision of the development house was, let's give an authentic experience. And I think Battlefield, V, the previous ones were trying to do that.
Yeah, this one's not trying to do that.
And this is not trying to do that.
Correct.
It's annoyed a lot of people because they thought it was going to be like the other ones.
Yeah, but I honestly believe it was DICE's fault for not going out and making that clear. If they said, this is Battlefield V, it's an alternate version of World War II history.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Cool.
I reckon everyone will be like, all right, cool, that's fine, no worries at all.
That's exactly right.
That's all okay. But because they skirted around the edges and they had these sort of this double speak, maybe it's immersive, maybe it's authentic, maybe it's realistic, we don't quite know. Take this trailer. Yeah. Everyone was like, what the fuck is this? And then all of the tweets and the responses from DICE after that, talking about the fact that you have to include a female in World War II games so that you can play as a female, so that if his daughter, the developer, he says, if my daughter ever asks me, why can't I play as a female, what am I going to say? I have to be able to look her in the eye. I need to be on the right side of history.
I just feel like, come on, dude.
And it was kind of like,
It's like Saving Private Ryan, right? I know a guy, right? He made a really crappy video. His name's Skill Up, and he made a very good point once, ladies and gentlemen, that it was a tale about a bunch of men going into war. There was no real, there wasn't a story told about the women's struggle in World War II.
And
that's okay in that situation.
Yeah.
Other movies will come along and tell the struggle of females in World War II. Certain situations come along that you just want to know, what it was like on the front line in battle in World War II.
Yeah.
And we're not getting that. And I know we said it before, but just quickly to finish, you're right in saying if they just made that clear at the beginning, it wasn't going to be World War II, it was going to be something else, people wouldn't be so pissed off.
Yeah, there was a Medal of Honor game in the past that had a female protagonist, right? When we talked about Wolfenstein as well with this alternative version of history, people don't really care that there are women in video games. Like, it's not a thing. And I feel like right now there's two camps in this. There's like the angry male gamer that's like, we hate women, and that's not real, by the way. They're not actually saying that, but that's how they're being characterized.
Yeah. And then there's such an easy argument to shoot them down.
And
it's like you're not listening to them.
And then there's the social justice warrior developer who's like, we need women in everything. And again, that's not what they're saying, right? So both of these sides are not actually real. I think what's happening here is that DICE is saying we want to make an alternative version, like an alternative version of history that allows us to be more inclusive with the kind of characters we portray, which is fine. No one cares. That's okay.
Yeah.
And you've also got like these dudes on the other side that are like, we really like historical accuracy, and if we're going to do a World War II game, we prefer that it was, generally speaking, men on the front lines, because, sure, there was some French resistance women and Russian women and whatever else, but generally speaking, it was a male-fought conflict. Yeah. We like that historical accuracy component. We're not sexist. We just want to have that. So both of these camps, I feel, are just misunderstanding each other at this point.
Yeah.
I don't believe that everyone on this side is sexist. I don't believe everyone on this side is social justice warrior, but I do believe that everyone's lost their fucking mind at this point. And everyone's arguing at the fringes of this. No one's really trying to find the way forward in the middle that makes sense.
And I feel like, to be honest, I feel like DICE could, they could have easily put out this fire if they were just at the very beginning very clear with their vision.
Yeah.
If they just were very clear with their vision, we wouldn't have this issue. Just like Fortnite doesn't have an issue because there's females in it. Like, it's not part of history. It's just like, whatever, Totally. It's like, if they were very clear with what they were delivering, a lot of people would be like, oh, okay, I know exactly what to experience, and I know exactly what I'm getting for my money. So people... That's what we wanted to say to you today. We wanted to give you a bit of a lowdown of what the laymen think of this whole...
Hashtag not my battlefield.
Yeah, not my battlefield. But look, we're totally sexist, as you can see. We'll be back tomorrow to tell you more sexist things about other video games. Any other game that comes out, we're like, what? There's another women in it?
Why are all Tomb Raiders women?
Christ.
What's up with that?
Know, right? What the hell?
Forget Nathan Drake.
Here we go, off the rails. It's time to raise ourselves. It's freedom like you never knew. Go back or pass. Say the word, I'll be there.